Well, all right, I think that's our cue. All right, well, first of all, I want to welcome everybody. Good evening, all of Tolleson. I want to welcome you to our series, Tolleson Talks. So this is a forum in which we, the mayor, council, and staff, come to our residents and just provide updates of what's going on in our city, what are some of the latest and greatest projects, and some of the initiatives that we look to move forward in the coming, in some cases, weeks, sometimes years. But we always want to be on the forefront of sharing information with our community so that everybody has the most relevant data available for what's happening in their backyard, in this case, our community. My name is Juan F. I am your mayor, and it is my honor to first and foremost welcome two very special guests. One of them is one of my coworkers, Councilmember Jimmy Davis Jr. How are you, Jimmy?
Good.
Excellent. Jimmy is actually not beyond being a council member. He also is. He wears a number of hats. I have asked him, and he has graciously accepted to take the lead on two city initiatives. We will be talking more in depth on both of those initiatives here in the next couple of minutes. But before I do that, I want to definitely I also want to introduce our second guest, who is Randy Babchuk. And so I've known Randy Babchuk. I've had the privilege of knowing Randy Babchuk for many years. We go back to actually my current employer, your previous employer, and he made the smart jump of coming over to the City of Tolleson. And so he is our aquatic facility and parks operations manager or superintendent, and he is going to be pivotal in really developing one of the two initiatives that Councilmember Davis will talk about here in a bit. So before we jump into those two projects, as a courtesy, and I think because Jimmy, you're the newest member to our council, and I should say, I've already been amazed at your abilities and your communication style and your desire to really get involved. I mean, you came into this councilship, with your sleeves rolled up, and I've been impressed with your work ethic, and so I enjoy you on there, and I want to commend you for what you've been able to accomplish in such a short time. But I get to talk to you every 2 weeks. And so I think it's apropos for me to provide you the space to talk directly to those people that you serve, your constituents, and tell them a little bit about who Jimmy Davis is and what motivates him to really put on the hat of service and put his best foot forward when it comes to serving our council and a bunch of other things that you do for our community.
Well, I think the word you use there is probably what best describes me, and that's service, right? That's kind of been my whole life, service. It's the reason why I decided to run for city council in the first place. I wanted to get involved. Tolleson, I talked about it during my campaign. Tolleson it's more than just a city. We're a family. We're an extended family. I mean, and that is literal sometimes. A bunch of us are all related. So, we're a family. And what do you do for your family? You take care of your family, right? And you do what you can for your family. And that's where I am with being on the city council. I want to do the best that I can to make sure that our city has a bright and vibrant future. So that's why I initially ran. Now, I didn't win my election, but thankfully, there was the appointment, that happened with finishing up your term, actually, Mayor. So I'm thankful that I had that second chance opportunity to get on the council. And, I will be having to run again this summer. So I really do hope that I have the support of this community, and that through my works, they can see that I mean business, and that I want to be here for this community. So
excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I want to start off with one key initiative, and it's near and dear to all of us. We all grew up going to the high school pool and spending hours upon hours swimming and just having a blast. And as the years have progressed, the pool was there for a very long time. It started to deteriorate and it started to have some issues. By the same token, the high school needed to expand because its population was increasing, and they needed more classroom space. So inevitably, the location where the pool used to be at, now there's a brand new building. Getting our Tolleson Union High School ready for the next couple of decades, and it's one of a number of buildings that they're building. But they left a void. They left a void in our community, where we don't have an aquatic facility where kids can go for a very reasonable price to go and enjoy swimming in the summer, and quite frankly, not just swimming, but learning how to swim. And so it's a matter of safety, but it's also a matter of recreation and enjoyment. And so with that being said, obviously we're kicking off this aquatic facility master plan process for our community, and we have a co-chair. The co-chairs are Councilmember Davis, and then our other co-chair is Randy Babchuk. And so I would like both of you, if you can, just share a little bit about your vision about how this master process is going to move forward, and the importance of community involvement, and so on and so forth.
Would you like to go first?
Sure. I appreciate that. Again, welcome everyone. Like Mayor Rodriguez stated, I am Randy Babchuk, and I'm with Field Operations. I'm superintendent there. And I've been tasked alongside with Councilmember Davis to open a new state-of-the-art aquatics facility with the help of the community. Currently, we're in the process of looking for a design team. Hopefully that'll be completed here soon. Once that's done, we'll definitely start getting into the community needs and community wants. We want to focus on, bringing the community in and focusing on what their vision is of this aquatics facility, what they want to see when they come to this state-of-the-art facility. We'll have the design team hosting meetings that they can come to, and hey, we would like this, or we would like to see this if allowable. So we definitely are here to serve the community, and we definitely want this to be 100% what the community wants.
Excellent.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Babchuk here. We want the community involvement for sure. We're going to put together a committee, that's going to help us to formulate what the aquatic center is going to look like. Because it is going to take the place of an institution, the Tolleson High School pool. That's where everyone learned how to swim, right? So we need a new place, because it's important that our kids know how to swim, number one. But number two, we need that gathering space in our city, somewhere that families can get together and just be joyful.
Absolutely. And so there's many components that are going to be included in the aquatic facility, many different variations of what an aquatic facility can look like. And so this master plan committee is going to be a key component of how all those different pieces come together to really reflect the needs and the desires of what an aquatic facility should look like for the city of Tolleson and its residents. So I want to thank you in advance, both of you, for taking this on head on. And I know I asked, and it's a big ask, but there was no hesitation, and both of you guys are ready to rock and roll. And hopefully we'll have a design firm, identified here in the next couple of weeks, and we can start the formal process. As we are building our civic center, I should mention that this aquatic facility will be located just south of the existing civic center. So if you're driving down 91st and Van Buren, you can see the big building that's being built. That's going to be the location, the hard corner of 91st and Van Buren on the southeast side is the location of our new civic center. And so the aquatic facility will be located adjacent, just to the south of it. So it'll be front and center on 91st Avenue. So it'll have some really good frontage there to a major thoroughfare for our community. Before we go on to the next initiative, I do want to mention a couple of things. Number one is, if anybody that's on this Zoom Tolleson Talks series has any questions, Zoom has a chat option. And so you can feel free to send in a question or comment through the chat option. And if one of us three can answer it, we'll be more than happy to do so. If we can't, we do have staff that are recording not only the entire segment, but they're also jotting down specific questions that come in, and we want to make sure that we get the appropriate answer as soon as possible. So even if it's not in the course of this episode, we certainly will include folks that can reach back out to you. So you may be asked for your email or phone number so we can have connectivity following that. And the other thing that I want to announce is that we do another segment. It's called the Taste of Tolleson. And we will be showing the Taste of Tolleson later on in this episode. And we're going to be highlighting a restaurant, Taqueria y Senaduría Culiacán. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about it, but we're going to have some gift certificates. So once we're done with that episode, you can actually, just by being part of this, have a chance of winning a gift certificate to actually go and have some really good food over at Taqueria in Senaduría, Culiacan. So those are my two announcements. And so now we return back to Councilmember Davis. Councilmember Davis, one of the other initiatives that I had asked you to lead, and I should say, this is probably the most impressed part of what I walked away with after meeting you is your love for the arts. And so the initiative is really a City of Tolleson community arts initiative. We've had different versions of art. We have some really nice art pieces on Van Buren. We have a really nice mural, but it's time to go on to the next chapter, take it up a notch, and so I've asked you to really take the lead on that. And so what is your vision? What is it that you see this community arts initiative really manifesting itself through the streets of Tolleson?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think we need to come up with a theme, something that says Tolleson, right? That speaks Tolleson, that breathes Tolleson, that just is Tolleson. We have a deep, rich history, that goes back to agriculture, but we want our art to be representative of not only the past, the present, but also the future. So my vision for it is something that is all encompassing, that tells our story, what our story was, what it is, and what it's going to be. That's kind of where I see the arts in Tolleson, and not only fine arts or visual arts, also performing arts. There's a lot of room for that as well. But with that being said, I've been working with the West Valley Arts Council, and we have been formulating a community survey that we'll be pushing out very soon, just to get a feel for what the community feels art means to Tolleson, what art should be in Tolleson, what story it should tell. So we'll be pushing that out. We have in the new Civic Center, we have 4 major spaces that are going to require art. So that's going to be our first focus. But beyond that, there's a lot of opportunity to put art around our city. There's lots of blank walls everywhere. It's a muralist stream. We've even recently, we talked about maybe even trying to get some of the big warehouses that are facing the neighborhoods to try to get some murals up, something that says, welcome to Tolleson, or really speaks what our community is, because we can definitely beautify some of that industrial stuff. And I think that's the key, beautifying. We want to make our city as beautiful as it can be and represent the people that live here.
Well, I personally am very excited about this, really for 2 reasons. One is I completely agree with you. I think when you're connected to the arts, your community just says something about you, that you really are into, celebrating life, celebrating who we are as a community, our neighbors, our greater neighborhoods, it's just, like you said, it really, arts is that binder that brings that family together. And I think that's magical. Now, the second reason is because I'm not very artistic. I'm a person that, I have to tell you, man, I love the arts, all kinds of them, whether it's performing, visual, musical, I love all arts. I just can't draw. And I've tried. And so, having on the council and to lead this initiative is a godsend. I mean, we found the perfect person for something that I think is going to be a wonderful program for our community. And so, I look forward to the outcome of this arts initiative for our community. And, thank you again in advance for really just taking the lead and saying, you know what, I want to wear that hat and I want to be the person who really helps this initiative take not only its first steps, but also when it's sprinting and having major successes in our community, I want to be the person that's directing that effort. And so thank you for doing that. We really
I have one more thing I want to add. I just thought about one of the other things that I really think is important is that we feature Tolleson artists, people from Tolleson. They don't even necessarily need to live here anymore, but that we're from this city, that have roots here, and getting our youth involved also. The West Valley Arts Council has a wonderful program called Gallery 37. So that we're going to try to tie them in. They get a professional muralist to come in and kind of lead youth in creating mural projects. They did some of our Paseo de Luces, that they did that. That was Gallery 37 that did that already. So it's a wonderful program, and I look forward to getting them involved in our art process here in the city.
I'm glad you said that, because I had actually written down local artists. And so, yeah, it's everything in Tolleson is local. So, involving our kids and local artists, is pivotal. It has to be, really a central focal point of what it is that we do. So thank you for pointing that out. It's very key. So Jimmy, Randy, anything else you guys want to add on as we move forward in our agenda here?
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to add. I know weather's getting a lot nicer out there. You know, a lot of people want to know how to reserve some Ramadas over at our Veterans Park. And I can put that link in the chat, or you can call myself at my office again. I'll put that in the chat as well. Monday through Thursday, it's first come, first serve at the Ramadas. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you have to call in to reserve those. So again, I will post those in the chat.
That's really good information because Randy does a lot more than just look really nice in front of that mural. He actually, not only does all of our reservations for Ramadas and special events and that kind of stuff, but he also does reservations for all of our sports fields. So whether it's Beach Gonzalez or whether it's Veterans Park, he's always running around making sure that everybody, at least gets some kind of a space as best as he can. And then also the condition of the fields are where they need to be and everybody's able to play on them safely and really have a enjoyable time. So Randy, thank you for all you do. We really appreciate that. And thank you for putting down not only the link, but also your phone number on the chat. Again, folks, you get off easy, Randy. I mean, once you're done, you're done. But Jimmy, you're my co-host. You're welcome to stay with us, Randy, too. I'm not.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night.
You too. One more thing I want to add, Mayor.
Anywhere, you can add as much as you want.
All right, good. Well, I just want to say I have to do a plug for myself, right? So I want to say if you're looking for arts opportunities in the city of Tolleson, you can come to Jimmy Davis Music for those opportunities. We have all kinds of stuff going on. We're located next to Tamales Guadalajara. We do art like paint nights. We do music classes. We have all kinds of stuff, dance classes. So come check us out, and I think you'll be pleased with what arts I'm bringing to the city through my studio as well. So
that's awesome. No, that's a great point because, beyond being a council member and taking on these initiatives, you're also a local business owner. And so, and it's, again, it revolves around the arts. So not only do you live the arts, but I mean, this is what you are. This is beyond a it's your business. I mean, it's your life. It's awesome. Yeah. It really is. So, all right, Jimmy. So this is what we're going to do now, man. We're going to take a little shift. We're going to talk a little bit about our Taste of Tolleson episode. We have a restaurant that you and I have to visit pretty soon here. It's called Taqueria Ensenaduría Culiacán. Taqueria basically means a taco shop. Senaduría is a tradition where many cities in Mexico in particular, from my experience, only open up for dinner. And so, they have a specialty and they only serve a couple of dishes that night, but they're homemade. It's in somebody's home and they only take a limited amount of people. So that's where the word Senaduría comes from. And of course, Culiacán is a region in Mexico where the family that owns this business comes from. So Nico, are you joining us today?
It's me on tonight, Mayor, but I'm ready when you're ready to show that Taste of Tolleson video. All
right. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and roll the film. And again, before we do, I just want to remind everybody, put your information on this. Our staff should have it because immediately following the video, we are going to have some drawings and we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to win tonight. So again, using the chat, putting your email address or just your name, and then we'll go ahead and get that rolling. All right. Yeah, please roll the tape.
Hello, Tolleson residents. I'm your Mayor, Juan F. and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Taste of Tolleson. It's a series where we celebrate and highlight local eateries right here in your downtown Paseo de Luces. Today, we are featuring Taqueria y Senaduría Culiacán. It's located here at 9115 West Van Buren Street. Let's go inside and get a closer look. All right, well, I'd like to welcome everybody inside here to the restaurant. First thing I want to do is I want to give a formal thank you to both Claudia Ovesa and Raul Martinez for kindly hosting us today, allowing us your time and opportunity to talk a little bit about your restaurant. Muchas gracias. Tell me a little bit about your restaurant, your history. How did Taqueria and Senaduría Culiacán get its beginnings?
We actually started out in a food truck about 10 years ago. You know, things lined up correctly, and we had the opportunity to upgrade to a restaurant, and we did.
Excellent, excellent. So you mentioned you've been here 10 years.
We've been here 10 years.
Is there a reason why you picked the city of Tolleson to open up your business?
Tolleson, we're very familiar with the city here. I graduated from Tolleson here back in 2007.
Proud Wolverine. That's always a great thing.
Yep. I graduated back then, and we just always liked the community here, from the parades every year, the Paseo de Luces and all that. And yeah, we just feel the small town love here.
Awesome. Well, thank you for choosing us. It's there's a lot of folks that have come by here and really enjoyed all the meals that you guys serve. One thing I want to mention before we move on is that Mr. Martinez is actually a Navy veteran. He served 5 years in our Navy, and I want to thank you publicly for your service. And I also want to thank you for choosing to come back to our community.
No, I had to come back. I love this town, you know. I spent a lot of time here growing up, and you know, it feels right here.
Excellent. Well, we're glad to have you and your mom. Quick question here about Culiacan. I noticed Culiacan is a state in Mexico.
Yes.
It's part of the name of your business here, your restaurant. Both Ms. Obeso and Mr. Martinez, mother and son, but there's also a couple of other folks in the back that are also a family unit. So this is very much a family restaurant. And so please make sure that we come out and we support them. As when they prosper, we prosper as a community as well. So I'm going to ask you, Raul, one very important question.
Yes.
I notice you have a very big menu, very vast,
Yes.
good variety of food, excellent variety of food. But if I had to come here and order one plate that was that special plate that I could not leave here without tasting, what would that be?
It'd have to be our torta ahogada. It's my favorite plate to make, my favorite plate to eat. It's a torta with torta de cochinita marinated in a achiote sauce, and then covered with the chipotle sauce on top.
I see some light cream on it too.
Yeah, some sour cream spread
Okay.
on top. Real good. Takes off a little bit of the heat from it.
It looks awesome. I mean, it's pretty far away from where I'm sitting at, but it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, that sounds great. From there, we're going to talk a little bit more about the different plates, large variety, wonderful menu that's available here at Taqueria in Senaduría, Culiacan. I'm going to ask Ms. Obeso if she can give us a tour of all these wonderful plates so we can get a better idea of the ingredients that are included in the food and some of the inspirations that came with it. So, Ms. Obeso, si nos da el favor, por favor, de hablar un poquito de todos los platos individualmente para que la gente en la casa pueda tener una mejor entendimiento acerca del sabor y los ingredientes y bueno, pues lo que hace la comida de este restaurante tan especial. ¿Sí?
Ok, empezamos aquí con las enchiladas al horno, que pueden ser de carne o de pollo. Aquí tenemos la especialidad de la casa, que viene siendo el caldo de res con el arroz acompañado y sus tortillas. Las quesabirria con consomé. Enseguida tenemos la torta ahogada, que viene siendo de pierna de cochinita, salsa arriba, chipotle. Y enseguida, que es la especialidad de la casa, que son las gorditas doradas con su consomé, crema y salsa. Y el pozole no podía faltar, que viene siendo de puerco con grano. Y los taquitos de carne asada, variedad de taquitos que viene siendo lengua, tripa, cabeza y asada. Gracias.
As we get ready to conclude this episode of the Taste of Tolleson, I got a couple reminders that I want to make sure that everybody's aware of. The City of Tolleson is still in the middle of COVID-19 phase 2, which means that we're abiding by the CDC guidelines. I want to make sure everybody's aware that the City of Tolleson continues to offer COVID-19 testing at Veterans Park, and we also offer vaccinations out of our fire department. For the latest information, please go to our website at tolleson.az.gov, or you can call our City Hall number at 623-936-7111, where our customer service clerks will be more than happy to assist you. So next, I want to thank all of our viewers at home for joining us today. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of great food, great company. Thank you all for joining us. But I also want to thank our host today, Ms. Obeso, Mr. Martinez. Muchas gracias por su tiempo y por su cariño. I want to thank you all for your kindness and also for your time. And with that, I want to encourage everybody at home to continue to take care of each other. And I want to wish you all a wonderful evening. Take care, Tolleson.
All right. Well, that was fun. and it was filling. I had to help them finish all that food. So,
I bet.
so that'll be our next meeting at Taqueria en Senaduría, Culiacan. So with that, I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't got your name in, please do so, because Pilar is going to go ahead and get started here in a bit to do our little turn of the dial to see who wins our gift certificates. I also want to let everybody know, since this is a record night, we have a lot of folks here tonight. We have City of Tolleson black bags that we're going to be giving out to everybody that wants to come by our library tomorrow. We have curbside service up front, and you can get yourself a free bag. So come on through and just get your bag and enjoy it. All right, Pilar, are we ready to start our raffle?
Yes, we are, Mayor. And then again, just to mention everyone that's with us tonight, if you have a question that you post in the chat, please also add your email. Then that way, if for whatever reason, if we don't get a chance to get to your question tonight, we could also follow up after tonight's show. So I'll do the spin the wheel so we could do the raffles. We do have 2 $25 gift cards and a $50 gift card to the restaurant from the Taste of Tolleson. Which one would you like to do first, Mayor?
Let's do the small one first.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, the winner is Mackenzie Ramos. So Ms. Ramos, just feel free to contact staff. If you left your email or phone number, they will contact you. But we will make sure that you get your gift certificate sometime in the coming week or early next week, okay?
That's one of my students, actually.
That's one of your students, all right.
Yeah.
Make sure if you have enough money left over, you take your teacher and go through. And by the way, that Aquatics was awesome. Now that it's getting cold outside, it's perfect in the evenings. It's just, it hits the spot. So
Yeah.
anyways, congratulations, Mackenzie, on your gift certificate. All right, Pilar, I think we're ready for the next one. All right, our winner is Tony Guzman. Don't tell me, he's one of your students too.
She is my tia.
Yeah.
That's my dad's sister, actually.
You, my friend, are going to be treated at least twice in a couple. So, congratulations, Ms. Guzman. I'm glad that you won, and you're going to have an opportunity to taste some really wonderful food. Pilar, do we have any more?
Yes, we have the $50 gift card. So those two winners were $25 gift cards, and the last one is a $50 gift card.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready to spin the big one, $50. Let's do it. Oh, the winner is Margot. Council member Lupe Andin, I'm sorry, you just barely missed it. I saw your name up there, but our winner for the $50 gift certificate is Margot. Congratulations, Ms. Margot. Again, staff will reach out to you. Please provide your email or your phone number so that it makes it easier for us to get a hold of you and make sure that you get the gift certificate that you have rightfully won tonight. All right, again, really good food there, folks. I just want to remind everybody, you know, COVID-19 has really taken a hit on a lot of small businesses. And you know, Taqueria Senaduría Culiacan, like many businesses in Tolleson, is family owned. All the cooks, the servers, they were all family. And so, you know, like I mentioned in the video, when families prosper, especially in small businesses in Tolleson, we all prosper as a community. So, you know, they're still hurting. And so if you can, go enjoy a nice meal, spend an evening there. They have lunch and breakfast as well. You know, help their business, and in turn, you will enjoy some very, very good food. And again, we will prosper as a community. So thank you for that. Okay, with all that being said, this is getting closer to the conclusion because I know 30 minutes is about what we want to do here. But before I let everybody go, I want to make sure I do a couple of things. Number one is thank our host or my co-host, Jimmy Davis, for coming on and giving us some really good information on the up and coming Arts Initiative program, and then also our aquatic facility, you know, master plan process. That's going to be tremendous. Jimmy, any closing words before we move on?
Just love the arts. That's my biggest thing for everyone, to appreciate the arts. Art is everywhere. Just embrace it, cherish it, because sometimes in some places they don't get the arts. So just be lucky, feel lucky, feel blessed.
Excellent. Thanks again, council member. I also want to thank our Aquatic and Parks Maintenance Superintendent, Randy Babchick, for joining us earlier today. Randy, you do a great job for our city and our residents, and I want to publicly thank you for everything that you do. You've been with us going on many years, and so I won't say how many, but I will say that you've been a blessing. So keep up the great work, and we look forward to really, really good things from you, as you have in the past. I want to thank the owners, Ms. Claudia Alvedo and Raul Martinez, owners of Taqueria and Senaduría de Culiacán, not only for participating in this program, but also for their hospitality and for giving us the time. The food was great, but really their hospitality and making us feel like an extension of their family was really heartwarming. And so thank you for doing that for us. And of course, lastly, and just as important, congratulations. Can you please provide? Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading a chat. Somebody needs to provide their email before I log off so that they can get the gift certificate. Lastly, I definitely want to thank not only as a mayor, but as our entire city council, all of our residents, not only those that are tuning in tonight, but all of our residents that live in Tolleson, and even the folks that frequent our community, whether you work here, your kids go here, or you frequent Tolleson because maybe a family member lives here, like your parents or grandparents. You all make our community what it is. And I'm very fortunate to have the pleasure of being your mayor and serving with a great council that also holds you very, very close. And we want to do the best work for you. So I appreciate and I embrace these types of communication opportunities, just like the rest of our council does. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. So with that being said, that concludes this episode of Tolleson Talks. I want to encourage everybody to join us at a future episode. Remember to please take care of one another, no matter what you do. And have a good night, Collison. Thanks for joining us.